Good evening. You're watching Hungary Reports, starting off public media and one's foreign language news hour. I'm Orsheflan. Thanks for joining us. Based on the videos made on the spot, U.S. Embassy's reception marking the Day of Independence had a particularly cheerful atmosphere in Budapest on Tuesday. In his speech, Viktor Orbán emphasized that there are good times now in the American-Hungarian relations, and he thanked the current U.S. ambassador for it. In an interview to N1 News, David Kirsten also highlighted that there's an excellent relationship between the two countries.
The U.S. Embassy's reception that marked the Day of Independence began with the presentation of the historic flags of the United States and Hungary at the Budapest Congress Center. The U.S. ambassador to Budapest called Viktor Orbán a partner and friend and praised the relationship between the two countries. In his interview to N1 News, the diplomat emphasized that Hungary had been criticized by the previous U.S. administration. This, however, has changed.
I'm really very happy and I'm very proud of what's taken place in this past year, because the atmosphere of the previous administration was one where they didn't really pay attention to Hungary. They only criticized what was happening in the country. And we felt that if we got along with people that are our friends, our allies, members of NATO, that we could accomplish a lot together. And I'm very, very happy to say that we have accomplished a lot.
Since the inauguration of President Trump, bilateral relations between Budapest and Washington have strengthened. The Hungarian Prime Minister's visit to the White House was also an example of this.
We had good times and bad times.
At the ceremony, Viktor Orbán said the relations had always depended on whether there was an overlap in the values supported by the U.S. administration and those being protected by the Hungarians. The answer to this question is yes today.
Nowadays, we promote and protect the same values. You Americans consider America first, for a good reason. And for the same good reason, we consider Hungary first. And we mutually respect each other's patriotic position. Both of us believe that guaranteeing the security of our citizens is a must. It is an obligation of the state, and we both act accordingly.
Among the common values, the Prime Minister listed that we both believe that equality between men and women is a value ought to be protected, and that the foundation of our nations rests on families consisting of a father, a mother and children. The future can be based on them. Viktor Orbán also said that neither governments can accept the modern political hypocrisy, which, as he said, ignored the fact that Christianity was the most persecuted religion in the world today. The Prime Minister emphasized that Hungary and the United States were determined to work together to help the Christian communities. After the speeches at the U.S. Embassy's reception that marked the Day of Independence, the American-Canadian singer Paul Anka gave a concert to hundreds of invited guests.
Bavarian companies are planning to invest almost 140 million euros in Hungary in the short run, Minister of Foreign Affairs and Trade said in Munich. Peter Szijjártó emphasized that Bavarian companies maintain great confidence in Hungary because of the lowest taxes in Europe, the well-skilled workforce, and the quality of the higher education system. The minister added that the success of the Hungarian economy depends on the Bavarian economic processes to a large extent. Therefore, it is a common interest for Bavaria to be successful.
They want to bring new investments in Hungary, which will lead to technological innovations developed and introduced in Hungary. These innovations are the condition for participating in the new world economic era and will create thousands of jobs in Hungary with high added value and high technological content.
This year, 2,000 primary and secondary school students are getting to know the military life in the military camps this summer. The kids are not bored even without their smartphones, as the training officers keep them busy every minute while teaching them about camaraderie and patriotism.
Participants of the so-called National Defense Camp are practicing the disembarkment at the shore of the Lake Balaton in the resort of the Ministry of Defense. The task must be carried out in a given time, just like real soldiers have to. The 22 boys and 8 girls learned the basics of military exercises, familiarized themselves with the craft of sailing and self-defense. The schedule is so tight that campers barely realize how physically demanding the activities are. The youngsters are really persistent. There's no exercise demanding or hard enough that would wear them out. We keep them occupied with the military programs 8 hours a day. After that, they sail for 4 hours. Nonetheless, they still require evening activities, said the battalion chief. The Ministry of Defense has been organizing camps for primary and secondary school children since 2016. More than 2,000 kids can learn about military life at 32 venues in 72 shifts. These camps are designed, organized and run by soldiers. So students spend the whole week together with soldiers, which obviously gives them a glimpse into the life of these soldiers and the Hungarian army. It's no secret that our goal with this is to influence recruitment and guidance to this career path a bit, said the State Secretary. Defense camps are one of the most popular summer activities in Hungary.
A new bath, or to be quite exact, a renovated old bath, is once again ready to welcome visitors in Budapest. The reconstruction works of the Pesterzsébet iodine salt bath have concluded, so visitors can now use 13 pools in the thousands of square meters spa and adventure bath. The old facility was closed almost 20 years ago, and the thermal bath hasn't been in service for almost 15 years.
Under the mosaic dome, there is an octagonal thermal water pool, a wade bath, and bathtubs, and a huge sauna at the therapy section of more than 5,000 square meters. After long years, the iodine salt bath in Pesterzsébet opened its gates again. The specialty of the new spa is the granite itself. We used nearly 1,000 tons of granite. The pools were also paved with granite here inside. We used granite for the floor, the side walls, the exterior tiles, for everything, because we trust that this bath will stand here even in hundreds of years. Granite is an excellent material, the director of Budapest Bath and Thermal Springs said. The yellow iodine salt medicinal water is a specialty too, for which one needs to ascend to the smallest pool that is only a few square meters. In addition to the medicinal pools, there are many other features in the spa complex that enhance thermal experiences. The reconstruction is part of the thermal bath development program of the municipality of Budapest, as a result of which Palatinus, Lukács, Paskál or the Csillaghegyi beach, for instance, have been renewed and expanded since 2010. Now we took another significant step for the notion of Budapest as a city of thermal baths to strengthen further, according to plans, the mayor of Budapest said. Next year, Királybath is expected to be updated, and after that, Gellértbath will be modernized too. About 45,000 euros will be allocated for the renovation of Bath in the capital until 2020 within the framework of the 5-year Bath development program.
On Saturday, the Great Plain will give home again to the qualifying race of the National Gallop. Riders of 12 settlements will compete at the Hortobágy Gallop, but the children or small hussars can also settle up. The competition is held for the 3rd time this year under the Hortobágy National Equestrian Days, where visitors can meet all branches of equestrian sports and arts during 3 days. Participants of the 8th International Drama Works Summer Camp in Kaposvár are reworking The Seagull by Chekhov. Russian, Tatar, Spanish and Hungarian young people work in mixed groups, where only one common language is spoken, the language of the theater. The camp lasts until Saturday, when the participants will present their own adoption of the Chekhov drama at 4 different outdoor venues. That's all for now. We'll be back tomorrow night at around the same time, and you can catch Hungary Reports online as well. Please stay tuned for our German, Russian and Chinese language news. Thanks for watching. Take care. Good night.